just boom, and just hits it forehead to pole, and just, what is that, Dad? I'm like, that's my knee. He's like, that's smaller than a knee. KFC Radio is presented to you by JACKPOCKET. JACKPOCKET. Are you feeling lucky right now? Close your eyes and think about it. Are you feeling lucky? I bet you are. I bet you're feeling so lucky. Well, get ready to test your luck or try your luck. Get ready to try your luck with JACKPOCKET, America's #1 lottery app. With JACKPOCKET, you can order official state lottery games right on your phone, making it easier than ever to win big. If you grew up in my era, you remember your parents freaking out and running out of the house right before the convenience store closed, trying to get their chance at winning millions. Speaking of winning big, Mega Millions is currently over $500 million. That's right, $500 million up for grabs. And the best part, new customers use code KFC, you get your first ticket free. Download JACKPOCKET today and use code KFC for a free ticket. You don't have to leave your house, you don't have to leave your couch, you just get a free ticket from JACKPOCKET that could be worth over $500 million. JACKPOCKET, America's #1 lottery app and official partner of Barstool Sports.
What's up, brother?
Not much. I love both of you. No socks.
Well, I got the low socks.
Okay.
If I have high socks on, this is something that started happening when I got old. Mm-hmm. If I have like higher socks on, my body temperature goes up like 9,000 degrees.
No shit.
Like if I like dress socks or whatever, my whole body fucks up.
That's the one thing that's like actually triggered me online is that, you know, millennial versus Gen Z. You could tell,
socks, bro.
Dude, I get livid at that shit. Livid.
I can't.
Wait, what's the issue?
When I see this doofus, you do it. If I see like high tube socks, like white tube socks pulled up, I'm like, that is the biggest loser shit in the world. Like growing up, like I can't believe you can do it. Because when we were growing up, it was like, that is, if I were to like, you know, make a cartoon and we're making a nerd, like socks pulled up.
Well, exactly. It's like,
shit.
dude, it's like all of this stuff was built off of our decisions, right? So our reaction to our fathers was to wear low socks.
Yeah.
And we're like, you didn't show any calf muscles. You had brutal bodies. Like, all right, we're going athletic with this shit. And now Gen Z is like, look at these fucking squares showing their Achilles. And it's like, get out of here, dude. We're all ebbing and flowing off each other.
I know. It all goes so cyclical that it's funny when anybody gets upset about any of it. It's like, it's just going to come back. And
Dude, standing online getting my son school clothes for kindergarten and like being behind these 14-year-old dipshits in legitimate Janko jean shorts and like striped oversized t-shirts. I'm like, I literally fucking wore that to school.
I was gonna say, it's 90s style.
Of course.
yeah. Like, this is in your face. Hang on, let me fix this.
I always tell this story of one time I was at like a rental house with some friends, and my buddy, who's not a handsome man, had brought his girlfriend, and it was my first time meeting her, and I at the time had worn like the no-show socks, and they came downstairs, and she saw me in those. And she was like, oh, my God, I would never fuck anybody in those socks. And I was like, okay, so you do have standards. Because you're fucking my abomination of a friend.
Damn. It's just the socks. Yeah. He pulled him up mid-calf. She couldn't see how ugly he was.
Most of the shit I do understand is like cyclical, but the socks I can't get behind. Where I'm like,
I mean, I do it. Like now I'm just, it's whatever won't get me made fun of. I'm back in middle school as a 39-year-old man. It's like, whatever, dude. Whatever's going to keep you bullies away from me.
You look good, man.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'm starving
So
myself.
you feel good. I gave you a little hug. You fell hard.
I did. Yeah, dude. It's calisthenics.
Yeah. You got those Instagram ads too?
You got to be down. How many pounds?
Like 20 pounds, I guess. Like, I don't know. I literally started training for my second son. Like, once my wife got pregnant with the second kid,
sorry.
I was
I just got to call. Like, my mic is just slowly falling. It's just a disaster. I can't figure this out.
It's just titty fucking
it's
you.
Like broken, and it won't stay up. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Fuck out of here. Okay.
There we
All
go.
Right, what were you saying about your wife?
I just said that the only thing that motivated me to get in shape was how many times I injured myself picking up my first son. So it's like, all right, now I'm going to stretch for the first time in my life.
Yo, that like 45-degree bend to the crib.
Yeah.
Like that's no bueno for the back, bro.
Dude, and my 5-year-old is like the most physical kid on planet Earth. Like every room I walk into, I'm defending myself. I'm in a full brawl anytime I turn a corner. So I'm like, I gotta stretch for the first time in my life.
We were playing a game the other day. What did I named the game? I think I called the game Unstoppable Force, and it's just like it's like I'm a mechanical ball. Like they jump on my back, and I have to throw them off of me. And I obviously I'm the one who like came up with this game, but now they're like, can we play Unstoppable Force? And I'm like, no, that was a one-time thing, bro. And when we play it, they want to do like 30 rounds of it. I'm literally like, there's nothing quite as bad as your kids being like, are you okay, Dad?
Oh my
when you're
God,
like playing a game, you're like,
dude, the amount of times my son has been like, Mom, Dad's hurt. Can you wrestle? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. You just immediately put me in my place. You're right. I'm a beta father.
The other day, Keegan just like popped the top off and was like, let's go.
Oh, that's
like,
awesome.
Dude, see, this I was at my my nephew's second birthday this weekend, and like he had it at like some jungle gym, and I was there, and I was just kind of like watching him and watching his friends, and I was like, man, I could rock with kids. Like
you would fit right in.
Not in having them.
Yeah,
but like,
no, totally.
Oh, I don't want to have them. I just want to play with them.
like, dude, all they did was wrestle, say dumb shit, and like stare off into the distance. I was like, that's extremely my shit.
Dude, that's how you get tricked, though, is uncles get that glimpse and be like, I could actually, this is like my dream life. And then the everydayness of it becomes like, you're a running back in the NFL. You have 10 car accidents per week.
Yeah.
And your body feels like, holy shit, how do I even recover from this?
No, I don't want to have them, but I was like, if they had like adult day passes to daycare, I'd go chill for a bit.
That sounds pretty good.
I feel like we wouldn't have kids.
That's like a coupon book they found at Diddy's house. Just adult day passes.
All sounding very suspect here. Just want to play with the kids.
I need a coupon. Call the cops. The cop would be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just here for the vibes."
They expire in 25. I can't let these expire. I gotta hit it before then.
I remember going to the dog park without a dog. That's kind of what you're talking about.
You did that?
I remember like during one of many of like, the quarter life crisis and then midlife crisis, and there was times where I would just find myself like walking around Manhattan just like aimlessly being like, what is life and what am I doing sort of thing, and walked by one of the Upper East Side dog parks and just like went in there and sat on one of the benches without a dog and just kind of like pet all the dogs that walked by. And I was like, I hope nobody, because nobody, you let your dog off the leash, it's like nobody really knows if I have a dog here or not.
Right.
But I know. I know what's going on, and it ain't good.
You have bacon spilling out of your pockets. You're being too overeager.
Come here, pup. You're mine. Come with me.
Wow, look at your doggy. How old?
I've stopped petting dogs.
Nice.
I won't do it in an elevator. Like, people give me a weird look. Like, don't you? I'm like, no, I'm fucking dogs. You got on it too high.
I'm with you on this crusade. But are we going all the way? Because now now you're jumping into territory where people are going to start talking about you.
That's fine.
Okay,
that's fine.
We've been on not an anti-dog crusade, but an anti-dog people crusade. Where
dude,
it's
I'm right there with you.
Okay,
Let's
join
go.
the movement.
Let's go.
Everybody, I feel like if we all say it out loud, more people. Because there really was a time in America where like the only thing you couldn't do was blackface and dogs.
Yeah,
right? Like those are the two things you would get absolutely flamed for if you said anything bad about dogs. And then we got out of control, and we've talked about it ad nauseum on the show. They're in the restaurants. They're in the fucking hotels. They're sitting on top of you, and they're the owner's not even paying attention.
The dogs are in blackface.
And everyone calls them the doggos and the good boys and the good girls, and the internet was like, send me your dogs. It's like, shut the fuck up.
No, much like children, it's not their fault. It's the owner's fault.
Right, yes.
And it's kind of because I have this exact same problem, but anytime I bring it up in any kind of rural area, they don't get it because it's a New York City thing, I think, where owners make you responsible for their problems. So like they'll make the dog let it walk across the entire fucking sidewalk, and you have to hurdle it or limbo or do something to get out of the way of their living sentient being. And it's like, no, dude, I'm gonna punt your fucking pooch in the middle of the road, and it has nothing to do with the animal. It has everything to do with you.
You're gonna catch a stray because of your owner.
That was exactly when I started to turn, because I've said that like dogs used to be like, they knew where they were on the totem pole, and they'd be like, well, it's a person, I'll get out of his way.
Yes.
And they don't do that anymore because they got too much confidence. We gave them too much power.
Yeah.
It's like Costanza with "We had a deal."
Exactly.
You guys used to respect us as people, and now you guys know you run the show.
Dogs got a taste of the hot white lady life, and they're not giving it up. They're like, this is, what is it, a yes at every door? I'm 100% in on this shit.
We're holding on to it. They have meetings. I don't care if you're a Chihuahua or a fucking doodle. You hold on to that.
You can tell dogs are getting too uppity because they're maintaining eye contact during shits. They're just like, yeah, this is where I go.
Pick it up with your hands. I mean, the minute that any species sees you picking up their shit, they know who has dominance.
For sure.
It's the beginning of the Planet of the Apes.
I mean, like,
the dogs.
I almost think, and I don't know, I haven't had a dog in a while. Dogs might be too dumb to know that they're in charge, but my cats on that tip, like, ever since, I mean, having one kid knocked my love for my cats down, like, 80%. Having two kids, I want them out. They're a pure chore. They have nothing. They're not offering anything. There's no love. There's no reciprocation.
I think that happens with a lot of dogs, too. Again, people won't admit it, but... there's a lot of that talk of like, I know what it's like to have a kid with a dog, and then people who have dogs or people who have kids are like, shut the fuck.
I would like my cats a little bit more if they looked happy to see me. But one of, like, my one cat,
cats, bro.
Yeah, my one cat Lenny is cool. He follows my wife around and is kind of like a wet nurse almost. And then my cat George is like a medieval king cursed to be a cat. Like, he's just an absolute piece of shit. Will lock eyes with you and be like, "What is this, a family heirloom?" And then just knock it right off of a high perch. And it's like, dude, I want to drown this thing.
I know a guy. I know a guy who knows a guy. I think they had like a baby. They had a dog and then they had a baby, and the dog was like might have been a cat. I'm gonna say it was a dog for the real effect of the story though. But it was not getting along with the baby, and they know like this guy who's just like like a lifelong criminal, just like sort of scumbag piece of shit, and he just took this animal, whether it was a cat or dog, took it out on a boat, tied a brick to it, and dropped it in the water.
Oh, wow. That's not where I saw that going at all.
He killed it?
Wow.
I don't dislike him that much.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They were. I think they were kind of like, we need to like get rid of this cat, and I think they didn't realize that like he took it literally. Like, I think they thought he was going to take it off of their hands. And I'll keep it, or I know somebody, or they just.
You gotta have an idea when you call like Johnny the Wrench, and it's like, you take care of this cat for me. Like, he's probably not gonna give it a loving go.
I mean, certainly he'd knock it unconscious before putting it in the water. No, he wouldn't.
At the very least, break its neck first.
Dude, yeah, old Yeller the shit out of this cat. I have no problem with that, but to look it in the eyes as it's breathing and then flunk.
That's strange.
It's crazy. It's one of the craziest stories. Like, I remember hearing that. Yeah, that is like, I was like, I don't even want to know why you know that guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to know why you have him on that quick of a dial that he can just like, yeah, I'll be over there today to kill your cat.
Yeah.
But also, like, you want to have people like that in your life too, though.
The one dude in my life, like, the one dude in my life that has definitely killed animals and has gone to jail for that. I've lost his number. Like, that was a couple numbers ago, and then we lost contact. And every once in a while, he'll pop up on Facebook, say, "Guess who's out of camp?" And it's him with a brand new faded tattoo that he got 10 days ago.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I like to be, I like to know some people like that. It makes me just feel good about it.
Yeah.
Like that, if shit ever went down, I know a guy, sort of thing.
100%.
The minute that you don't have any connection to that is like, you're just living some foo-foo fake life.
Truly. I have one of my friends, Anthony, he's the best. And I say it's like being friends with a pit bull who is like not housebroken and who like just got out of like bad news kennels. So, like, is just like twitchy and all that shit, because he'll bite you. Every once and again, and he's my friend. He's one of my best friends. He will fucking bite me. He put a knife to my chest one day behind a bar because he was going to fight my other friend, and I thought that wasn't a good idea. So he was like, "What?" and put a knife to my chest.
I'll fight you first.
But he's one of those guys where if I'm an hour away and I say, "Dude, I'm about to get my ass kicked," he'll be there in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He'll somehow show up, screeching, pulling up, ghost ride his car into a CVS, and come out and beat the dust out of like 100 guys. It's great to have have him on your side.
Man, yeah.
I had a friend like that once. We were at a, and he's actually not really like that, but this happened one time. And we were at a wedding reception for one of our friends, and we were like, I forget, somewhere in Massachusetts, but it was like the after party, so we were at a bar, and this is like at a time in Massachusetts, particularly when it was like heavy recognized. And probably like the only time it's ever happened in my life, the person was very verbal about how they do not like me. And like would not leave me alone at the bar. And I was just like trying to party with my friends, and I was like just kind of ignoring it. And then it lasted for a while. And the bar closes, everyone kind of spills out. Kids still yelling from across the street. We're all dressed like we were just at a wedding. And my buddy just takes off his jacket, goes to one of my friends, he goes, hold it for a second, and just went over and just beat the fuck out of the kid.
I love that.
Love it.
Damn. And then it gets out that you have goons.
Yeah. Don't fuck with Feitelberg.
He's got shooters, I know exactly where that wedding was. I'm just leaving it out, so I don't know when the statute of limitations ends.
I mean, dude, as the mouthy, funny guy of my group, and like I would get into scrapes, but it always helped that I had my friends who were like legitimate gorillas. Like full-blown football, just 200 plus, 250 pound plus guys that could back up what I was spewing. So it was always the best.
I feel like it's also, I'm so not that guy that you always want to be like, it's like watching a movie. I want to be that guy, you know? If you call me, Cannon, don't put me on your list of like, you know, I'm in trouble. I need you in 10 minutes. I'd be like,
There's traffic.
I can maybe be there in like 45. I show up when everything's done. You good? Okay, good. Yeah, that's not.
There was a time in my life where I was, but now the thought of taking a punch at 39 years old, like I would, like, you know how vampires turn to dust in Buffy? Like that is literally what would happen. You hit me on the button and I dissipate into complete particles.
Dude, I got hit on the nose the other day playing with my kid. Just bonk. And I thought about it was just like a little kid bumping my nose, and it, like I got the watery eyes and that, you know, that weird feeling. Like if a grown man threw it all,
those hurt so much more.
They really do, though. I mean,
but those hurt more than a punch does.
Like a little,
because it's betrayal.
It's but like those little injuries, those hurt more than.
I guess also when you're in a fight, you have like your adrenaline going. When you're just like just relaxed and a kid just jumps on your fucking head, it's like, oh my god,
dude. But the idea of taking a grown man punch right now is probably the least appetizing.
I'll tell you what's worse is the thought of throwing one.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Tearing your labrum
absolutely.
mid-swing.
I would make connections. It would be so upsetting. I would throw like a haymaker, and I think most people would be like, and just like look at me, just like their head kind of turns. Like,
well, that's the best part about not fighting is you get to build that up in your head that you're still capable of all those things. It's like people constantly call me out of like, you're a pussy. You know, all you talk about is your rage and anger, and it's like, yeah, that I am.
I use words.
Like, that's literally what I'm doing. I'm bloviating about things that I can't possibly succeed.
I use the word bloviate.
I'm also an adult explaining my emotions rather than acting out like a child.
No, like it's pretty much. That's pretty much everything, though. Like we had a guy here who planned. He said that they planned this golf trip for 15 years.
Jesus.
It was 31 of the men in his family, which I think is like all the men in the family.
Wow.
Were going golfing in Ireland, like back to the motherland and like whatever, right? And you know, in Chicago and Barstool, they have like this fun house of all these things, and they had a full court basketball court, and he tore his Achilles playing basketball 4 days before the trip of a lifetime golfing, and I was like, you know, heartbroken and crushed for him. But I was like, what are you doing playing full court basketball when you haven't touched the court or the ball in 15 years? And then you just get out there and you think you can do it. And you do it with sports, and you do it with sex. You could do it with fighting. You can do all these things where it's like you have been sitting on a couch for a decade straight. You know? And it matters.
And I mean, basketball is the quickest way to hurt yourself. I filmed that series, Old Man Basketball, and in my head, I was like, first of all, I signed up thinking it was a slow break league for 35-year-old plus. So I was like, I will easily plot up and down the court, set up in the corner, hit a three every now and again.
They really label it like slow break, where it's like
my buddy Casey, who signed us up as a team, did.
And that means like if you really push the ball, like they stop you.
Yeah, they stop play.
They stop.
So then you got to check it up at the top of the. And I'm like, fuck yes, dude. If you're not allowed to run, that's the best basketball I could possibly play.
I've heard that, but I didn't know if that was just kind of like intimated or it's like a rule?
No,
That's
it's a rule.
fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's the best.
The ref
You can't
blows the
throw it
whistle.
ahead. They blow. It's the best kind of league ever. When I showed up for our first game, it was the exact opposite.
Yeah,
it
you
was
were in a
all
real deal.
35-year-old, like everybody was kind of scraping the age, if not a little bit older, but all of them were like trainers, high school coaches, AAU coaches, dudes I played AAU against. So they were all competitive, really good basketball players that have never given it up. So they're continuing to play and train. I haven't touched a ball in 16 years, and they're screaming into cameras like, I'm taking souls. This is my year. People underestimated me last year. And they're like, what do you think, Mike? I'm like, I haven't picked up a ball in 16 years. This should be good.
I shoot on my little tykes at home with my kid.
Truly.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm taking his ankle, snatching him every day, telling him to keep his eye on the belly button, can't go anywhere without it.
Bro, I knew you were fucked when there was a media day.
Yeah.
He was in a men's league that had a media day with like press conference. Like they sat at a table with mics, like, and they. I don't know,
Did they have like interviewers?
Even part of me thought they were kidding. Like,
Yeah.
It's like,
because that would be
dude,
funny
Which is a
too.
normal response.
Totally. I was like,
all
oh, look at us
This
being
is fucking absurd. They must be
silly
joking.
old idiots with a media
Because I
day.
can even get down with that if it's like this whole league is a joke, but we're gonna like you're gonna show up in a suit, you're gonna do media day, you're gonna do it like the pros, but we're laughing. But they were dead ass.
They were dead
serious,
serious, and the
guys.
league is awesome. Like, it's just not for me. I shouldn't have put my body through that with zero preparation. Because, again, in my head, I have a better basketball mind at 39 than I've had in my entire life. For the first time, I understand, like, I should have been facilitating and not even going for my shot. Like, all this shit. And I'm like, oh, I could do this. And every time I, like, lowered my body to do any type of explosive movement, every single guitar string in my back would pop. Like 100% of my tendon, everything would explode, and I'd pull up lame and then have to stretch for 15 minutes before coming back in.
My brother did it. He like literally the first like off the tip like went to run and just tore his hamstring completely.
Yeah.
And it was he never got surgery. He never fixed it. He actually just got surgery like a week ago to fix probably what he should have done like 20 years ago. His whole hamstring was bruised like black, and I remember him being like, "Do you think I tore it?" I was like, I think something else happened. Like, I don't think you tore it. I think someone's in there like ripping it to. I don't know what happened.
Pouring blood.
It's just that you don't explosive like shit or like jumping on shit. Like you're gonna tear your body apart. Now, like if you work out and you're in shape, fine, whatever. But even if you're in shape, I feel like that like basketball where you like your ankles and moving and shit. Like you can lift weights and run on the treadmill, but the minute you're like trying to move laterally quickly,
any type of cutting or explosive movements, it's like, hey man, once you're 35 plus,
I said 30.
like,
I say
over.
30.
I think
30
that's
should
the
be done
safe
with
route,
sports
for sure.
For just like the general public, because most people are fat and out of shape anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like 30. If you're in your 20s and you want to play Zog Sports, all that shit, whatever it's called now, fine. You should still probably really take it easy and like just shoot some jumpers and jog around, do like beer league softball. The minute you really start going, you will be out 8 to 12 weeks from your job.
Oh yeah,
you will be on workman's comp or getting 40% of your pay or whatever the fuck it is because you can't walk for 4 months.
That's what you don't consider is like when you used to sprain your ankle in high school, you'd be home, get your foot elevated, your mom would cook you dinner. My buddy Anthony popped his Achilles 3 minutes into our first game. 3 minutes. His 3 kids were like, "Oh, Dad."
Like, you watch you gotta watch your dad hobble off like Kobe.
Dude, and then literally just like scooting to work in between cubicles and shit, still having to wear the whole and it's like, god damn, dude, there's nothing.
Being in a cube, like a cube bunkie job with like crutches or some
Truly. But I'm going to come back at 60 is when I'm going to start like high dosage testosterone. And then I'm going to come back for like a real hyper competitive, just sunset of my sports career.
Go the Sly Stallone route.
Lives, dude.
Remember when he got busted in Australia with like all of the steroids?
Yeah.
And just everyone's like, well, yeah.
It's Sly Stallone.
Wasn't that during filming for Balboa?
I'm sure.
I think,
I'm sure those guys.
I feel like, yes.
I feel like that's also like the least talked about thing in Hollywood. That all those guys should have to say that they're on what they're on when they train.
Oh, dude, I watched
Like,
Pain and Gain last night.
What's that one?
Marky Mark and The Rock.
Okay.
And like they're
Dude.
it's actually a true story of Marky Mark is this meathead personal trainer.
He's Mark Wahlberg now.
In Florida.
Dude, he's God's own Mark Wahlberg. He has that. He has
Right.
that
I
app.
got
Stay
the prayer
prayed up.
app.
Got the drip, municipal drip. Dude, that guy is fucking out of his mind.
But he's a gym guy. Again, true story. He was a personal trainer in Florida who had a really rich client and decides to kidnap him, get him to sign all of his assets over to him and his other two gym buddies who were played by The Rock and Anthony Mackie. And then they spend it all so fast that they have to do it again right away. And this guy's got I forget, it's a $3 million house. I forget what his assets are worth, but they're living in his house. They're just partying. He's alive, by the way. They tried to kill him. They thought they killed him. He didn't. So he's just alive, living in a motel, calling the cops, being like, "That's my house." And they're like, "You signed it over. You signed the deed." He's like, "I was being tortured." It doesn't matter. Apparently, they're like, there was a notary there because they had faked the notary thing, and then they go to steal this porn king's money. And things go wrong, so they have to kill him and his wife. But they're bumbling idiots. They're like it's all an accident, but it all really happened. They keep he bashes the guy's head in with a fucking 45-pound weight, and he's like, "It was." They walk in the room and he's already dead. He's like, "You're fucked up. He slipped and it fell on his head." It's crazy. And then they're trying to figure out how to dispose of those bodies, so they're just cutting them up with a chainsaw
that's awesome.
while wearing aprons. It's a nightmare.
And it's Mark and The Rock, you said?
It's The Rock is kind of out of the picture at that point. Well, he's in the picture, but he's a real cokehead at that point. So it's Anthony
And they're
Mackie
just
and
fucking yoked to
huge.
the
I mean, the
heavens.
D-ball budget on that movie must have been in the hundreds of thousands.
The Rock, The Rock portrays it as wake, rise, and grind shit.
Yeah.
Dude,
Come
it's
on.
actually crazy.
I know you work hard, but come on.
I eat
watching-
15,000 calories every Sunday. Doesn't affect my stomach.
Dude, watching The Rock, looking at The Rock now, he's got to be, what, 55?
Is he? He's fucking 55 years old?
50 maybe?
I would say, yeah, 50.
Wow.
Because at 2000, he was a wrestler who made it, so he's probably
I mean,
late
he must
20s,
have a Dr. Conrad Murray giving him
52.
intravenous drugs while he sleeps,
Like,
right?
Like, if you look
when you look at him when he was in the WWF.
Yeah.
He looks like a regular guy.
Bitch
Right.
tits.
Yeah.
He's he's 6'4", whatever, but he's kind of, I don't want to say doughy, but you know what I mean? It's not just shredded. It's he's just a big guy who used to play. You're like a big guy who used to play football, kind of.
Yeah.
And now, come on. I think that photo's a little whatever. But
to be it's just regular. Dude, you're 55 years old in your athletic prime. You looked regular.
yeah, right. It's kind of the Barry Bonds situation where it's
Look at that picture to the left right there. The one all the way to the end. Whatever.
to the right.
Top,
Go to the
top
right.
row
Second
to the right.
Yeah. Up. Over.
Oh, yeah, just not jacked, but not even, no striations,
Yeah,
no
he's
veins
a guy,
or anything
in
like
good
that.
shape,
Yeah.
no doubt about it. But he's
I
a
would
regular
kill for
guy.
that body.
Jack, go one more over to the left. That on the left-hand side of that. No, down. Yeah. Jesus. Down.
Right.
Yes, that one right there. He is just kind of a. Oh, Jackie can't see it. This is hilarious. Go up one and over to the left. The left. Down. Correct. Yes.
There we
We
go.
did it.
This
Hell
is
yeah.
like when I try to get nicotine from the bodega.
No.
And I'm like, the blue, no. Okay, I get the cinnamon, no. Left, no, down one.
Isn't it amazing that The Rock used to be Louis J. Gomez? It's unreal. That's him before every SkankFest, just as ripped as humanly possible.
Dude, he can do some magic, huh?
It's actually really
I
impressive.
thought that was a joke or something, but he just keeps coming up with magic tricks. I'm
He's like
that was
Worm
fucking
from
incredible.
Rounders. He has
Yeah.
sleight of hand chops.
Yeah,
He's really good.
that's also that's Lewis is a guy he's kind of one of those guys. We were talking about it earlier. It's you can just do things and
Yeah.
you know things and shit like that. It's I can just do magic tricks because I learned sleight of hand. What? It's why?
My parents were never around.
Yeah. Right.
So I played with things.
The Express brand is all about creating confidence. When you dress better, you're more confident. When you're more confident, everything in life is a lot easier and falls into place. So they want to make men and women feel their very best by looking their very best by providing everyday easy outfits to help you look and feel nothing short of amazing. You don't have to give it too much thought. You don't have to stress. You don't have to worry about what trends are. You don't have to worry about what's in and out. Express is timeless clothing where you look your best, your crispiest, your freshest, whether you're going to work, whether you're going to a job interview, whether you're going on a date. No matter what, it's quality clothes that look good and feel even better. They have the Express Essentials that are the versatile, must-have staples for everyday life and effortless style. You got to have them in your closet. They have the perfect Pima cotton T-shirts, which are the super soft T-shirts that you wear every single day. They don't shrink. They have them in tees. They have them in tanks. They have them in polos. Everything is the Pima cotton that performs well and is the softest to the touch. They got the hyper stretch jeans. I'm basically out on like real denim for the rest of my life. that ain't fitting anymore. I can't. My body ain't moving in the real denim. I need that hyper stretch jeans and the chinos, which are just like the comfortable version.
So far, we've set you up very nicely then.
Yeah,
I'm
ready for my makeover.
Do an express makeover for Kevin, and we chose the clothes yesterday. You got a Pima cotton tee. You got some stretch jeans.
Let's go. That's all I need. They also have the modern tech suits. So if you really need to dress up, they have the wrinkle-resistant and machine-washable suits that you can wear again and again. So go get the essentials from Express right now. They're going to give you 20% off when you use the promo code SADBOYSEASON. That's SADBOY, SZN. So you can get 20% off this fall when you're getting your fits off, when you're doing your dressing, and you want to look comfortable and stylish. Go to Express and use Sad Boy Season for 20% off. When is SkankFest coming up?
It's this Thursday. I'm leaving this Thursday for Vegas.
Oh, no shit.
I'm pumped up.
That's surprising. I feel like I usually see a lot about it. I feel like I haven't seen much.
I think it's because it's sold out in like 10 seconds.
There's no promo.
So, yeah, you don't
I feel like
promo.
Usually it used to be like all of you guys who are doing it would like post your posters
the
same day, and that's just not necessary.
No, now it just completely sells out, and then basically all the posts from that week they use as promotion. To be like, it's happening. You missed out. You fucked up. Look at all these posts. Look how fun it looks.
Yeah,
dude, I can't wait. And the only thing that I'm not looking forward to is the 2 a.m. walk down Fremont Street on acid with like all of Andy's toys from Toy Story or Sid's toys. They're the fucking baby on a mechanical spider. Just like horrified. Dude, the only thing keeping these people from committing atrocities is they're in those circles that they've rented out and they're like weaving baskets at 150 miles per hour. And I don't think they can leave. So it's like, all right, that'll keep them safe as long as I pass this by.
Now, at SkankFest, do you do traumatized animal or are you doing other jokes?
No, I'm doing new shit.
Stuff?
Yeah. So I mean, it's hard, but I filmed in April, so I've had all this time to kind of develop new. I have a pretty decent chunk of time, and all of it's kind of there. So it's like,
which is honestly also
passable.
for SkankFest is like that's where you need to be.
Yeah.
Like, of course, it's a lot of comedy fans, but they're there for like the hang.
Of course,
you know what I
it's,
mean?
It's kind of
if somebody goes up there and bombs, I feel like they people like the SkankFest fans would just like laugh.
It's Comic-Con for the most part. It's like it's kind of a giant meet and greet,
right?
So that's most of my time is just hanging out. Then we have shows that kind of get in the way of the fun.
I gotta go do comedy.
Yeah, but the stand-up is great. Like they're all there for the show, and like I mean. The thing that I have to get out of my head is that 100% of these people have even seen my special. It's like most of them knew it came out. Some of them watched it. Some of them didn't get to yet. Some of them will never. So it's like, I could do whatever the fuck I want, but it's only my head that's keeping me,
of course,
from doing well.
That's life, man. It's always up here. They really don't care as much, but
you just run it back. I've seen traumatized animal. Very, very, very.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I
feel good. Yeah.
Within literally, I think within the first 2 minutes, I was recording it and sending it to like my brother, being like, "This is me."
Oh hell yeah! I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
The bit of, when you're like the flat earth is who I get stuck to talking for 6 hours. Like my brother has a running thing where he's like, I don't know how it happens. Every family party, something just insane happens to John. Like I just get stuck in the corner like one of our weird aunts or uncles, and I'll come back and I'll be like, "So, do you know blank?" Like I really can't think of something, but and he's like, "How the fuck do they say this to you?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know why they tell me."
It's always
these
you're inviting. You're too inviting. You got to put on stop smiling or something.
You have speak freely face,
Yeah.
dude. I have that when I'm on the road. I know it like. it finally dawned on me that it's kind of universal when I've been on the road and going to different cities. I was in Atlanta, and like this is during COVID, and the lady, apropos of nothing, just turned and goes, "You know the vaccine's the mark of the beast, right?" I'm like, "What?
Why me? Why not her or him?"
But I'm just like, I'm such an idiot. I don't put any stop to it. I'm like, "Oh yeah," because I'm just like, maybe this will be a bit. Who fucking knows? At the very least, you know, it'll get me out of podcast for a minute.
It's happened to me like my entire life. Like I remember there was a time I was taking the commuter rail in Boston, and I was taking it to the kids museum with my mom, and there was a little person, midget, dressed up like a garden gnome on the train. And he just waddled up in front of me and was going, "Nee! And my mom was like, "This always happens to you." I'm like, "Shouldn't you put a stop to this? Like, you're right. I have a guardian and she just doesn't do anything. That's why this always happens to me."
She's like, "Weird that this guy is abusing you like this, but I'm going to sit by and watch." As your mother, I think this needs to play out.
That is your mother.
This fucking sucks for you, huh?
Oh, my dad would do the exact same thing. Mom or dad would just be like, "Well, not my social issue. Get out there. Get out there and deflect, Michael."
In the first line of defense.
100%. That was me at like, my parents refused to even talk to other parents. So that was me at other social engagements too. Is like anytime parents would try to have a conversation with my parents, they'd be like, "Michael, what do you have to say about that?" And then I'd just be their personality. It was awful.
I always thought that when I've told before, like when I played sports, my dad was never like one of the guys who would occasionally, you know, here and there go get a beer for a tournament or something like that. But like he wasn't one of the crazy guys like hanging over the glass and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it annoyed me as a kid because I was like, my dad, be cool with the other guys. And now looking back on it, I'm like, God, that was so uncool to be like hanging over the glass screaming at children.
I mean, nuts, man.
My dad was worse in the sense, or not worse, but like different in a troubling way, where I would play, I was decent at basketball growing up, and my father didn't know anything about basketball but loved the attention that he got from me being good at it. So he, like, I would do something on the court and people would be like, "Kev, pretty good," and he's like, "That's what I taught it," like that kind of shit.
And he still couldn't show up to Traumatized Animal?
Still couldn't show up. "Kev, you piece of shit, we had a seat for you right up front." But no, he would yell out vague things. So he like saw that people were giving it attention and then would be like, "Yeah, run faster." Like just vague sports shit that didn't know anything about the game.
Words that he figured out.
I remember the whitest thing that I've ever done, like the most entitled child thing. I stopped a game in the middle of it when I was like 10 years old. My father kept yelling like similar stuff of like, "Try hard, come on, run."
Yeah.
And I finally turned and I was like, "What's a rebound?" Like 9 years old. Like, seriously, tell me what a rebound is, dude. And he just immediately yoked me off the court. They subbed somebody in. He took me outside, hit me a few times, and then was like, "All right, bring him back in. Let's see if he can rebound from that."
That's the lowest of the low.
Yeah.
Taking you know, credit when you don't even know the sport.
Dude, and that's what he was doing. I mean, early comedy shit too. I would trash him brutally from the stage, just talk about what an awful dad he was. And in hindsight, maybe I was a bit harsh, but you know, whatever. And instead of being like, "Oh, this is like getting a little rough," he'd literally kind of turn and be like, "That's me. I'm that guy. I'm the shit that stirs the kettle." Or
Were you played AAU, so you played like some serious ball? Because I'm going through, you know, my son's getting old enough to like start playing competitive sports, and it's really. I don't know what to do. I don't know.
How old?
He's 7, so he's still pretty young.
Yeah.
And we're talking more baseball. He plays basketball, but
travel starts early for baseball,
like,
right?
So he's playing on a league where kids are really good, and he just stepped up to that for the first time. Kid pitched the whole 9. Some of these dads are crazy, but I also want to be involved, and like. I don't know what to do, man. I don't know what is good for him. He's like he gets down on himself, so I'm like, I don't know if I should.
Well, baseball is such a solitary sport too, because so much of the focus is on you, especially when you're up at bat. It's like kind of like humiliation ritual every single time.
Brutal.
So it's like, yeah, man, hey, either fail or succeed in front of the prying eyes of everybody.
Everyone. with adults who are taking it way too seriously.
Yeah,
like,
for sure. Dude, I was a little bit older, but when I was 12 years old, my all-star team played in that Field of Dreams Cooperstown Summer League thing, and we were the first ever kids to do it. That was the first year, so I'm in the Little League Hall of Fame.
Oh,
pretty sick.
Shit, son.
Purely for participation. but we were playing against all these kids that were like 12-year-old, but like Danny Almonte, 12 years old. Like they were like 17, coming right off a boat, full beard, throwing gas from 40 feet, and with parents that were just like, sit down. Anytime we would strike at, like, so I'd never recovered from that.
No,
shit.
I mean, it actually is like. It will. I think it will fuck you up for a long time if it goes wrong there. So I'm like, let's just go to practice. Let's go to this game on Saturday, which may or may not affect you for the rest of your life.
Truly.
Great.
And Grant, I have no experience with it from a parenting perspective yet, but I'm kind of anti-young specialization. So like I wouldn't just have my kid in one sport at like 7 or 8. I'd have him play all the sports or as many as he can.
The problem is that you got to go to all the fucking things.
I know.
So he's got a game and a practice in this league, 2 practices in this league. It's
crazy.
Hang out, like there's only fucking 7 days in a week.
I know.
So it's like these kids are doing shit all the time.
Everything you guys are saying is like a strong argument for putting your kids in contact sports. Like give them somewhere to place all this rage of
get it all
parents
out.
yelling at them and always being dragged to different
Gaelic
practices.
football,
bro.
I can't wait to sign my son up for Gaelic football, bro. Because I don't
For
think he'll play.
Gaelic football?
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he'll play American football. The head stuff, I just know too much. At this point, like I can't in good conscience.
Sorry to interrupt. Did you see today? It's one of my favorite quotes.
Stone Cold?
Yeah.
So good.
So the Vince McMahon documentary came out last night, and I guess there's a clip from it. It's going that I saw posted today. It was just Stone Cold being like, "Nah, I don't really believe in CTE," which is like literally the most CTE thing you can say.
He also
back, he's like, "What was the question?"
But the full quote's even worse. It was like about wrestling, and it's like CTE isn't like because of wrestling.
He's
right?
like, yeah, you get a couple concussions, but whatever. I don't believe in CTE.
I think he said something like good wrestlers and bad wrestlers, and like
if you're
my
getting
take has
concussions,
always
you're doing
been
it wrong.
if you were just wrestling and you got a bunch of concussions, you're probably doing something wrong. I'm not a CTE guy. I just don't believe in it. Like you could be a perfect wrestler, and if someone fucking drops you on your head, like
No, I get it, dude. It's like gay marriage. you just don't believe in it.
this is a guy who like Owen Hart. I'm watching the clip. Owen Hart dropped him on his head, and broke his neck and ruined his career. And it's just like, nah, man, it's not real.
I think the thing that will maybe open the scope eventually is like 2 things. One, if Tom Brady becomes just a drooling mess of a version of himself, like in like 10 years, like he's showing up to interviews, forgetting why he's there, all that stuff.
I mean, Brett Favre just got Parkinson's. He came out with it.
Yeah, but everybody hates Brett
He's an
Favre.
asshole. Yeah.
So it's like
whatever.
Tom Brady is the great white angelic goat.
We don't wanna see
so it's
our-
like if he
our
came out
puttering mess.
drooling,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
people be like, we must stop this. But also the thing that fucks with me is like CTE doesn't start the day you get drafted into the NFL. Like these aren't the only guys that are suffering from this. There's so many plumbers that have killed their families. Get such less press than whoever is doing it from the NFL.
Yeah. No, honestly, I mean, you were getting your heads mashed in from
High school tailbacks, dude.
Easy. Even before that, you know what I mean? It's like these guys all. You were lucky if you made it to the league with CTE because at least you got a little money out of it. The rest of these guys just went crazy.
I mean, how many guys from my high school did like the Tua fucking glow stick rave dance after getting drilled in the head? I mean, it's like so many. So many of them.
I mean, he's got to consider retirement almost. No,
I think that
when you have like 2, he has had 2 really bad ones. And
I think
a couple,
3
really bad ones.
3 and probably 4,
right?
Because they discounted the first one of that. Didn't he get
they
one in
put
the
him
first
back in
half,
that
and then he
one
got
time?
another one in the second half? And
That's a 2-for-1. That's just one big one.
It's so awesome, like seeing how much the world progresses, like every 10 years or so. Where you're like I saw an NFL Films video once of Terrell Davis getting. I mean, he's unconscious.
Yeah.
He's out cold on the field. And they're dragging him back to the bench, and they literally just give him oxygen. And he gets back out there.
Air will fix this. More air. Just fan him.
That must have felt cold on his braces. That's a reference for like 6 people.
The CTE for. Did you see the conversation with who are the other 2 guys? The 2 guys, Le'Veon Bell and AB. They had a conversation. That was great. This was like a couple weeks ago. It's horrible, but it's so good. Yeah, those 2 guys are like, especially AB is like the poster child.
The funniest guy on Twitter though.
Not him.
Yeah. Oh, it's not.
There was a scandal the other day. I don't know. that it's just some like white kid from USF running his account.
Wow.
Because
that explains FOTD.
the other guy,
It's a Florida thing.
they were like, "What do you think, dog? You think CTE is real?" And they're like, "I don't know, man. I don't think so." And he's like, "But probably, right?" Like, it was sad, but it was like, and I think they acknowledged. They're like, "I think we have it, right?"
Yeah. We got a touch. We got a dollop of it.
Yeah, they made it sound like it's like you could catch it, like it's a disease.
Yeah, if you don't wear condoms, you get a bad CTE reaction.
We actually talked about this when we went to the game the other night, though, because it was a Jabril Peppers for the Pats, where it's like the Guardian cap.
Yeah.
And I think Jackie's like, why doesn't everyone just wear that?
Because you look lame.
Because
you're gay if you wear that silly hat. That's legit why.
It looks like the big head code from like NBA on NBC.
Yeah. I think someone said they look like backyard baseball players.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
But like when I was playing hockey growing up, like it was a known thing. Like you should wear a neck guard. Yeah. And we were all just like,
hell no.
Are you kidding me? What, and look gay out there?
Yeah.
like I'd rather bleed out on the ice. Like you're like 9. Like I'd rather die on the ice than look like that.
It's wild.
And
that's
then-
like Shaq. Shaq actually could have he got his free throw percentage up to like 75 to 80% behind closed doors by shooting underhand.
But he wouldn't do it.
And then they were like, "All right, so bring it into the game." And he's like, "What are you, gay?" He's like, no way, boys.
crazy.
Yeah, I can't be seen like that. He's like, "I'd rather shoot 42% from the free throw line than underhand kiss it to the gods."
That would have been awesome.
It would have been great.
I think
may have revolutionized the game.
I think he played that so wrong.
I agree.
Because when you're that big, you can be gay.
100%.
You know?
First of all, I mean, what man could take him being gay?
Have you seen his girlfriend?
No.
I mean, she's
Pocket size, little.
yeah, and I think that was his ex-wife too. So I think that's just his type.
Nice.
But
He
like,
just likes a human fleshlight.
Yeah, for real though. She posted a picture that was just like, I guess it's not confirmed, but it was like me and like my boo, and it was just like him from the waist down and her whole body.
Wow. It's like that
truly some
Manupal
weird-
Muggsy Bogues
yeah,
picture.
Yeah. That's basically what they did for like their
Holy
Instagram
shit.
page. Crazy. Yeah, yo, listen, this podcast is sponsored by Jack Black. Jack Black is the real fucking deal.
Jack Black's like, this is a pure, true, whatever, real read. I use exclusively Jack Black. I didn't even know we were getting him as a sponsor. I'm very excited to have him as a sponsor. Everything from lotion, moisturizer, deodorant to Pit Boss, I use Jack Black.
Jack Black is clutch because here's what I need in my life. I need antiperspirant in my life.
Yeah.
Deodorant is one thing, and if you can get away with deodorant where you put it on and it just masks the smell and it's just like, I smell like forest pine. It's like, okay, fine. I need a little antiperspirant in my life that stops me from sweating, and that's what Jack Black has. They have the antiperspirant and deodorant combined so that it controls the odor and the wetness, and you also get a little scent. You can get the bamboo and violet. You can get the cardamom and cedarwood. That's our second product that has cardamom in it. They have 4 new, we're going to call them flavors, even though don't eat these.
You probably could, though.
It's natural. You could. They have the same, they have the reliable protection from the wetness and the scent in 4 new scents. Big Sur offers the refreshing aroma that mixes marine accord with amber. Blue Midnight features adventurous notes of black pepper and lavender. Jack Zen presents a grounding blend of bamboo and violet. That's this one here. And like I said, like John said, he's been using them.
I mean,
when we got the package, he was like, "Is this a sponsor? Because if it is, fuck yeah,
dude." I'm like, when I remember it was probably 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I forget how long it was now. But Whitney Cummings was making fun of me for not having a skincare routine, and I was like, I can't keep being like this. I got to figure it out. I did a little research. It was like everyone was like, Jack Black's the one to use. I've been using Jack Black protein serum. I use a little under eye thing. I'm Jack Blacked out.
You are Team Jack Black.
I use the face wash in the shower. I use the skin buff, I believe it's called, in the shower. I'm full Jack Black. So the fact that they're an advertiser is kind of crazy.
They've been around for over 20 years, but your boy Feitelberg is taking them to the next level. You're the poster child, man. So if you want simple, effective products that do what they say they're going to do, you need Jack Black. Go to getjackblack.com/KFC. Use code KFC and get 10% off your order plus free shipping. That's getjackblack.com/KFC. Code KFC, and you get 10% off plus free shipping. This cardamom and cedarwood was fire, but I think this bamboo and violet's going to be the one for me.
that is the one.
Yeah.
I knew that was gonna be the one already.
Yeah,
That's
amazing.
Good. Like it's just subtle enough. It smells.
Jack Zen.
That just smells like fresh. You know what I mean? Like if you were to just be like, "What is this?" I wouldn't know that it's bamboo and violet. I would just be like, "That is a fresh dude out of the shower, man." So go to getjackblack.com/KFC, code KFC.
That I mean,
So,
you know,
I don't know if they can do it. Some guys out there that can.
yeah, that is too much of a chance. I don't know. I don't think I could bang an extra tall woman either. You could?
I think so.
Yeah.
What's the tallest you've ever had?
Not tall.
No, I don't. I'm just thinking like 6'5", like a Rebecca Lobo.
Oh,
a lot of women.
I had one girl once. I was really drunk, so I really don't remember like how tall she was or anything. I just remember I remember lifting up her leg and feeling. I was like, damn, it's like when I used to pick up my hockey bag. It was like, oh man, that one activated the oblique.
Dude, I had sex with one 6-foot woman in college, and when we like approached each other, it felt like we were doing a pre-fight face-off. Like Dana White's here, and he's like, "All right, back it up, boys, back it up." And
I think I hit probably 6'2", and I was lied to. I got like the old like I'm 5'8".
Yeah.
I'm actually 5'10", and then it just kept going, and I was just like, we're the same size, and I don't think I can do that.
I feel like it
Very
does
pretty and
everything
everything
line
else,
up
but it was
better?
just like you.
it's not you;
Yeah,
it's what
you
you
know
make
what? I
me
will
feel
say
about
that.
me.
Yeah, right.
It's like I feel very, very
I feel
petite.
dainty. Yeah.
I don't like this.
But I
feeling.
will say, I do think everything did line up better.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting sick and tired of everything being too low.
I was gonna say I traditionally date shorter women, so like everything's a fucking nightmare.
Then you gotta because then you're like, you gotta like keep yourself up.
Yeah,
but lean yourself down.
Yo, I come down
I
like
hate that.
like a drawbridge.
Yes. There are times I do that and then I fall.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
I'm like, all right, we're going prone here.
drawbridge.
This is where
That's so
calisthenics
good.
and planks comes in, boys.
Honestly, I'm not in shape enough anymore for
Strengthen your
that
core.
shit. I can't. It's like I'm like pulling up a little bit, and then it slides down, and then you just got to go down, and you're like that. When you start to lean, it's so
I
funny.
gotta get one of those squatty potty things on my bed. I'm like, just kneel on that.
Put that in there underneath.
I've looked those up actually. They sell them on Amazon, like sex cushions.
I
And shit
remember
like
seeing
that.
those back in the day in like the back of magazines.
Yes,
Yeah.
they
Stuff
had a
like
name.
that.
It was called like the like Eliminator. Or something
Yeah,
like that, right?
yes. I don't think that was it, but
Dominator or something,
that must have
something
been
like that.
it,
It, was like, it had the wedges. It
Yes,
was like
yeah,
the
yeah.
wedge this way, but then you could wedge it that way. You could put them all together. I need those.
Yeah.
I may have told you guys about it, but I had sex in a gymnastics gym once, and we were on the cheese mat, and I remember being like, "This is perfect.
this is great."
This is
On the what?
exactly
Yeah, this
on the cheese mat, the wedge mat that
okay, yeah,
children
the cheese.
somersault
Yeah.
down during the day.
Just coming all over it. Jesus Christ.
we had bleach spray.
Yeah, that was the one thing, because I do remember being just like, oh, I can just be straight up and down.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
it's
now
like
I'm-
I feel like I'm having sex with my buddy.
yeah, I haven't had sex in a while. My wife, my wife's healing up, so now I'm just stealing away moments
So wait,
to myself.
How you have?
A month old.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow, so you're
yeah,
fresh.
5 years and fresh.
Congrats.
This kid is brand fucking new.
Yeah, that's a
which is
newbie.
wild because it just like from the first one to the second one is just so different in terms of your exhaustion. I assumed it would be like same in the sense that it would zap you completely. You just nothing. You got nothing left. But it's even more. It's like because every time
you have a baby.
Exactly. Every time that I had my, when my first child was a newborn, he'd nap, I'd nap with him, so I got to chip away at my own exhaustion. This one, the newborn naps, and then I wake up, and my son's like, "Let's fucking rage."
Right. Well, it's like
Friend
they
that
say,
doesn't want to leave the bar.
That's why there's that saying. They're like, it's like you're drowning and you're trying to save your kid, and then someone throws you a baby. That's what it's like.
Yeah, 100%.
Now I gotta keep both of you alive.
Yeah, and I just out of
that's
practice, my infant pissed in his own face, and that was jarring. I had to get one of those dick cap things, which weren't around for my first. It was like a little Fantasia hat just for the head of his penis.
Yep.
Is his obsession with death still ongoing?
Yeah, that's still there. Where it'd be, and especially because my wife my wife was pregnant for like a year. So we got pregnant, she had a miscarriage, and then we got pregnant right away, and we didn't even really know until later on. Like, it was kind of this whole jarring thing. But the first one was far enough along that we told our son that we were going to have a baby, and he was excited, and then we said we're not. And so he's like, so is this the dead baby or is this the new alive baby? Like pointing to his brother, and I was like, it's whatever you want it to be, buddy. It's like, where do you think he came from?
I think he's going to cause less therapy, bro.
I think he's the dead one, but he's alive now. And I'm like, that's how I like to think of it too.
Don't call it a comeback, man.
So how was Chrissy producing it? Like it
was great.
What does that like really entail?
It entails him like, I mean, he was around in terms of like helping with the venue and stuff like that. The venue our manager owns, so Emilio owns all the New York comedy clubs. I had filmed and recorded stuff in the city ones. The one out in Stamford is like a beautiful space, seats like 250. Yeah. Plays like kind of a perfect club theater hybrid. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you could tell from the sound of it, like it sounds kind of big, but also intimate enough to like boom.
Right.
So he, helped pick that out. And then creatively, it was more on me, where Nicole Lyons, who's unbelievable, she produced Here's a Scenario. She's done a bunch of my edible stuff, crowd work specials. She's like an unbelievable filmmaker, so talented. She directed it, and her and I basically built the set. We did just everything basically creatively. And then Chris is the name. We put it on his platform and gets more eyes that way. And I'm very grateful.
The Stanford Comedy Club, we did a show there once, and we remember sitting in the green room, and we were kind of just like having some snacks, having some drinks before the show, whatever. And then we were finally like, yo, was that Sagalo?
So weird. It's so weird.
Yeah. Just a really like painstakingly beautiful mural of such a hippopotamus of a man.
It's like from the Renaissance or something.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Oh, he looks like a Portland lesbian with his just perfect like side shaved cut, just riding a gallant horse. They were going to do one for me in the Upper West Side green room downstairs. So the Upper West Side new room that they have, also a sick room. The downstairs green room is amazing. Like there's just very few good green rooms in New York City, and that one is a really good hang spot. And Emilio was like, we're going to do you climbing a mountain in booty shorts. And I'm like, no. I was like, I like it. The homage is kind. I agree. That's cool. But there's going to be every comic taking pictures like, hey, dude, did you green light this? Yeah. Is this cool for you? Because your ass is bumping.
I kept thinking how that had things broken differently, that special would have been with us if everything went well.
Yeah. This is me coming back. It feels like I'm back at the beach where the shark bit me.
I know. Out of everybody, there was a lot of good and then some bad, but out of everybody with the pen thing, people probably don't realize that you were one of the people that got fucked from it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I of course emotionally went through every spectrum of feeling of being pumped to join, bummed not to, suicidal ideation, you name it. But it's one of those things where it's like I don't think I got fucked. It was just timing.
But that's where you got fucked, where it was just timing.
Of course,
you know what I mean. Like, so if people don't know, when Penn was still around, we were gonna try to build out like Barstool Comedy. And Mike was like one of the first people we were going to bring in as a comic to do specials and the podcast and just try to like grow the stand-up comedy side of things. And then like as that process was unfolding is when Dave bought things back from Penn and we had layoffs and we pretty much just nixed that whole wing.
I'm just sorry. Any dreams you guys have, kill them now.
Honestly,
I'm just laughing because my manager at the day Dave bought it back sent me a screen grab of it. He goes, "This is probably good, no?" And I was like, "Wow, man, you've never had worse instincts."
Yeah, you're fired, dude. No, unfortunately, and wildly enough, like Dave has always said, he's like stand-up comedy just like isn't my thing for being a guy who's funny and like on the internet and all that.
What does he have, a proven business model? What is this?
Dave doesn't really like funny.
No,
like
it's weird.
Dave likes like confrontation. And,
he likes entertainment. He likes
he doesn't
intrigue.
like people who like try to be funny.
Right.
He thinks
it's like, oh, you sat there and wrote that. Like, congratulations, bro. You wrote a joke.
Well, and when it comes to the internet, he's right. That is the
right,
successful
yeah.
stuff.
Yes,
Successful
right.
stuff is what causes conflict and what causes people to argue, and then it lathers up and builds in the algorithm. It's like, it's probably why I'm not more successful is because I'm just trying to be funny. And I have the playbook. I know what I could say to like be, you know, some right wing or left wing or
Bro,
whatever.
we say it all the time.
It's like we all have the fucking script.
We all talk about just going 2A and just being like gun
Totally,
guys.
yeah.
Tomorrow we'd be the most popular fucking guy in the world.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, that was my Frank Rigatone character. That was literally me trying to be funny while doing it. People were like,
But if you-
I sense jokes. I don't like this.
If you were actually Frank Rigatone, though,
Totally.
toned down a little bit, you probably would have like a huge audience of people being like, "That's Frank
100%.
Rigatone."
I sense jokes.
I don't like that.
I sense humor. I need this to be as serious as humanly possible.
Yeah, that was shitty for. I mean, we had big plans and we were told about a budget and all this shit that just was not even like there was no conversation, there was no like end to it. It was just like that's just not happening.
No, it was me sending texts out being like, how we doing?
Yeah. And honestly, I was like, I still do this to this day. Like, if I know I have to like text Dave about something like this, I don't do it because I know what the answer is going to be.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know, maybe there's just some hope that like, you know, something else will change by tomorrow. But if I send the text message, it's over. So maybe it'll just, you know, I don't want to shoot myself in the foot.
No, and
But that
even
was
like
shitty,
in my
man.
internal people pleasery shit, like I felt for you because I also knew that you guys were like heading up this whole fucking
I mean,
thing.
it
This was
you
your
were
whole
trying to do it.
project. It was going to be a big thing, and you're like, it doesn't look like you're going to happen, and also all my dreams are dead.
I mean, bro, we were having meetings with like, you know, or at least conversations with the clubs, and we were talking about like doing live streams on the internet of the comedy club, and we had a weekly like underground show that we wanted to cultivate, and with all these comics, and it was just like,
Yeah.
yell at people on the internet more. Just fight on the internet. It worked. I have hundreds of millions of dollars. Keep doing this.
I will say, like a week or two after it fell apart, and I was super bummed, obviously, and just like not knowing what was next. I saw, I think Clemmer, is that his name?
Yeah.
He's like 40 years old dude.
Yeah.
He was getting yelled at about something, and he snapped back, and people were like for him or against him or whatever.
Yes.
And right when I watched that, I was like, oh yeah, I wouldn't have been good there.
Yeah.
I would have fucking snapped. I'm too emotional. I would have had those confrontational moments and like lost my mind sincerely. He did a really great job of maintaining his emotion while being like creating a boundary for himself. I would have said so many horrific, just unforgivable things, and then it would have been all live and great. Yeah, for the
You would
company,
have been
bad
rich.
for
You
me.
would have
Yeah.
been popular after that. You would have no fucking psyche. You'd be an absolute lunatic.
Yeah.
But
my kid, the address to my kid's school would have leaked.
yeah, you're right. Right. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, you got to either have like either one or two mentalities where you're just like whatever, or like I'm gonna fight.
Yes.
And like that'll be entertaining.
Yeah.
And
And if you're in between, you're fucked, man.
the fighting and being entertaining is not.
I have
Not
like
for me.
a respect for it for people that have the constitution to deal with it, because like I'm at this point where I'm just all estrogen. Like I have I love my kids so much
Right.
that I am a living, breathing vulva. Like I'm truly just such a pussy. So any negativity, I'm like, how could you? Like I have no constitution for it anymore. So
Well, it's also like, you know, I used to get fired up about things. Anything, just arguments and takes and debates. And I still have opinions on them.
Sure.
But it's like, I've learned that arguing about them does not do anything. So when I'm
Truly.
about to do it for the 10,000th time and get my blood boiling and get mad and fight and like lose a friendship or like lose a friendship for like a few weeks over it or something like that, you know, it's like, I'm just not gonna do this.
no.
I'm just not gonna do this.
The amount of times that I like actually did that when I was young, I would have been perfect for this place.
Yeah.
Because I was ready to
Right.
go screaming at
Right.
people. I thought if you had even a slightly different opinion than me, you were out of your mind.
Yes. Yeah,
So
yes.
I stuck to word, like this is how it is.
How can you think anything other than what I think?
Yeah. But now I don't have confidence in a single opinion I have. So if you have pushback, I'm like, yeah, that's probably right.
Also, I like when you're at a stage in life when you haven't done shit yet,
you think you are right about like everything. And then like 20 years later, I'm like, I was wrong about that. I was wrong about that. I was wrong about that. So I might be wrong about this, this, and this. So, we gotta wait 20 more years.
It's literally how I feel about everything. Yeah. Plus, the information of everybody has such a solid perspective on what they believe, like, international politics, all that shit.
Crazy.
And they're like, no, this is the way it is. And both sides are so certain. And I'm like, all right, I give up.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not even going to try to wade through this because both of you are so certain that your completely opposite perspective is the truth and the only truth that I'm just going to, I'm out.
There's literally no point. I mean, it's always been that way, so it's not new. But it is. I guess it's new to me that I'm like dumb people, like just rocks for brains, friends of mine who think that they know about like foreign policy and immigration. And it's like, how in the world could you even, with a straight face, say that you know anything about this?
It used to be fun to talk about with your idiot friends when it wasn't what you were inundated with all day.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's like, so when social media didn't exist, it was fun to punch around your buddies and get into these arguments because it's like almost a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
You're like, look at this. I was just droning on at work all day. Now I get to fight and exercise my creative ideas.
Now you fight all day.
But now it's all fucking day, and the negativity is just like beating down on me, at least. I don't know. Maybe other people are out there having a good time.
Yeah. Dude, I just said, somebody posted on Instagram and said, they asked ChatGPT, if you were Satan and you were trying to like take out humanity, what would you do? And he said the three things were create doubt, distraction, and create comparison.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the internet in a nutshell.
Yeah, holy shit.
You look at other people and you doubt yourself. You're distracted by it, and you compare yourself to everybody else.
I mean,
it's like, oh, okay. If the like quantum computers are saying this is what Satan does, maybe I should.
And they're the algorithm.
But as I say, but it's also funny to be like, I wonder how to ruin my mind. Let's ask the computer. Yeah.
That's my problem with any AI is we're like slowly giving them the secrets.
Yeah.
Be like, the AI is figuring out like, all right, make them have all slightly bad relationships with their fathers.
Like the guy probably replied to the AI bot like, damn, that would work. He's like,
don't give him the playbook. You want to do some voicemails? We got some videos. Get some video questions. Meet Helium Mobile, a new carrier for visionaries. This is powered by people and crypto. So Helium Mobile's unlimited plan is just $20 a month, which is crazy because I feel like my bill just like jumps up. I'm just like paying like $200 a month now. I'm like, what? I think I signed up for like $80 and now it's like $200. What happened? So this provides $20 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. No gimmicks, no contract. The coverage is unprecedented. Subscribers of the plan experience coverage from both the nation's largest 5G network and the Helium network, a new network here in the U.S. built by people like you and me, secured by the blockchain. So it's unlike any other traditional telcos. Helium Mobile protects your data by giving you control and doesn't sell it to third parties for a profit. Instead, Helium Mobile's unlimited phone plan, you can earn crypto tokens called Mobile for anonymously sharing where you use your phone the most. So you can earn crypto rewards by paying for your phone plan, by buying new technology, and you can exchange it in for US dollars or other tokens. So it's something you have to buy. You have to have your phone. You have to pay for it. Why not earn crypto tokens while you pay for your phone? It's time to rise above the status quo and make your carrier Helium Mobile, powered by people and crypto. So ditch the old phone plan and get 1 month free of Helium Mobile with code KFC. That's unlimited phone plan with rewards in crypto just for using it when you go to hellohelium.com/KFC.
Hey, KFC Radio, long-time listener, first-time caller. Hypothetical for you. This past Sunday, true story, I was bored, sitting on my couch just watching football. My girlfriend was out of town, so I decided to do one of those like DraftKings like fantasy lineups, the ones that have like 400,000 entries in it, cost like $20 to enter. So I did it, and I randomly came in second place and won $200,000.
Holy shit!
Literally awesome for doing nothing. $20 to $200,000 like that. So I didn't tell anyone though. So I won it. I kind of kept it to myself. Well, I didn't want to go into work on Monday and be like, hey, I won $200,000 like gambling or winning or whatever. Like I didn't think that was good. I also didn't want people to think I'm like a major gambling addict and like throwing money around all the time. Like it was literally $20 that turned into $200,000. So I just kind of sat there. I withdrew the money on Sunday night. Monday morning, I woke up and had an extra $200,000 in my bank account, literally. And I haven't done anything with it. Haven't told anyone. Do I buy something? Do I like tell people? Like, what would you do? Would you like just
Do I help people?
Would you go out and just have a big party and do something wild? Like, I don't know. It's I don't have any kids. I don't have any expenses. Like, I don't like it doesn't change my life or anything like that. But it's like really nice to have an extra $200,000 just like sitting there in my bank account. So curious what you guys would do.
Holy
kind of a weird
shit.
situation, but a cool one.
Now wait,
I'll
did
hang up and listen.
he say he had a wife?
I think he said
A girlfriend. Yeah, yeah.
Don't tell her.
That's awesome that he didn't
Well,
tell her.
first of all,
I
you
love
just told
that.
everybody.
I
My
know.
first thing would have been,
Yeah.
I don't tell anybody.
No, but I do. Yes. Let's take that out of it. This is awesome.
This is all. First thing I would do is get out of Buffalo. Like the moment.
legit.
Yeah.
Legit. You
200
could
grand,
probably
you could buy Rex Ryan's old house, maybe.
get a fucking palace up there, bro.
Well, that's the thing. He's got a life decision to make, right? Like, I mean, could you just live on an island for the rest of your life with 200K?
200.
No way.
You can't?
No
Well, I
way.
mean,
Bali?
if you live like literally, like on off the land sort of thing.
Truly.
But I think you should at least 200K is first
Well, it's
of all,
100K, first of all.
Yeah.
John is always he's our tax man. He always reminds us of the taxes. So now you're down to 100. Now you're down to 100.
I just got to remind everyone, like, the bar we're going to tonight has a cover. Right. It's 50% of your net worth.
Man, this is good though. Just that feeling of like not telling anybody.
Totally.
Is crazy.
I think I would go full like Will Survives. Do you watch that kid that went to like the remote area of Alaska or Canada and built a house on government property?
No.
And then he broadcast it so much that they ended up getting him, kicking him out. But then he's been since given a couple other. This guy's like amazing. He's a young kid.
Wait, they give him land, or he just like
So
sneaks
he
on the
just
land?
he didn't steal, but he just posted up on the first property, and it was government land. So they found him and kicked him off once his page became too popular.
That's what the first boats over from England said. Like, we're not stealing, we're just posting up.
we just got here.
Yeah.
We just assumed. We're just taking a rest.
No, we're just posting up. Yeah, no, don't ask why it's called the Trail of Tears. Just fucking walk it.
You guys post up in Arizona. We're gonna post up on the East Coast. See you later. Goodbye.
But his whole thing, he like lives on his own, self-sufficient, builds his own houses and huts, and like lives, tries to live off the land as much as possible. That is my Ted Kaczynski dream.
Yeah.
Where I would just completely separate from society. I'd bring my family. Sure.
I always said what I wish I had done is like, even just for a little bit, is like go to an island, go to like a Caribbean island, and like bartend.
Yeah.
And just live like in a hut or at some shitty fucking hostel or whatever.
Yeah.
And just make enough on tips to like, you fuck tourists and you know locals and you just, And if you do that, just that, you probably can survive. But if you start to buy like anything in this economy, Mike, 100,000's gone by. Have you a cart of groceries will cost you $100,000.
Thank you, Biden.
Fucking thanks, Joe.
No, but I think that's the idea, right? Is you take that to have a year. And then maybe you either disappear or work a small job there if you truly love that lifestyle, or you just become a content guy in a remote place, and then all your monthly earnings just feeds that lifestyle.
There is an angle to he could probably at least go viral one time right now, being like, I'm the guy who
100%.
like let the internet decide what I buy or whatever, and that might be enough to. I don't know. Look at Hawk Tua. She's got a whole new life now. I don't know if portly fella from Buffalo has the same effect, but you never know.
By the way, this is not a DraftKings ad. This is.
I know that's actually real. But you know what it is? It is funny. Like, I think that about the lottery and DraftKings. It's like there's always somebody who wins.
Yeah.
And they're not doing anything. They walk around going, it's not going to be me either, and it's them.
I had a family member win $1 million.
Really?
Yeah, and it's
Doing
gone.
Really?
Like 2 years later, gone.
Oh, the money's gone.
Yeah. Fully spent.
On what?
Nothing. There's nothing to show for it. I don't know. I don't know what it was spent on, but certainly nothing of consequence.
Well, also because it was 500,000.
Yeah.
500K goes quick.
500K. Like, what, you go to London for the weekend?
You probably gamble a little of it. You party with a little of it, and then there's some left, and you invest it, and maybe it goes up, maybe it goes down, and then it's gone.
Yeah, I think that is what I guess
put it
that's
into
what I would do.
crypto
Is
or
I'd
some
keep
shit.
working and then invest it. Hope for some sort of
200K is not enough. If you're talking, if you win like if you walk out of there with $1 million, I think you can do some disappearing type shit depending on how you live your life. But
200K is almost enough for me to like it's enough, but also little enough. Little enough for me to just be like, I'm just gonna blow this.
Yeah. I was gonna say. And then the other side of it is like you go to Vegas.
Yeah.
And you just go nuts.
Yeah. Let's have a weekend.
Put it all on black. Maybe it's gone in 1 second. Might have 400 grand. You might have zero. Like whatever. That's where it's right on that border of like I can really affect my life, or I could really just consider this a gift from the gods, and maybe I turn it into something more, or maybe it's just.
Have you ever seen somebody live out that like clearly putting their whole financial worth on the table?
I haven't seen it in person. I've seen like videos of it.
Dude,
and even the video is enough for me to get going.
I saw this could have been 21, could have been 105, young Asian kid. But he had like 20 grand in front of him at Borgata in AC, which I don't know if that place has seen $20,000 on a table in years. Like nobody goes there that has that much money. So he's like. And I was like, man, this kid must piss this money if that's what he's throwing around. And he's got some hot chick behind him and he's throwing it out. He pissed it away in like 10 minutes. And just had the head in his hands like, what the fuck have I done? And I was so grateful to witness that because I was like, that'll never be me.
I think what you would do, what matters is like where he's at in his career. Like is his job. Do you want this job forever?
Right.
If you don't, quit
and go do
what you want to do now, right? Like that's
even that though. I mean,
or don't quit and just use this to set up what you want to do.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you gotta it's not just like I can live off this type of money.
No, but there's
that'll
always
be gone pretty quickly. You gotta pay rent, you gotta eat food, you gotta have some, that goes fast.
But like I feel like most people who have a regular job think like if I had money I'd do blank instead of this.
Right.
Yeah.
And
what is
now
that
you
thing?
have you don't have endless wealth, but you have money to at least try that dream or try that lock of life you want.
Right.
Yeah, I would have to put like 50 into family, whatever, like just to have, and then 50 into full-time content squad for at least the next 6 months or whatever. Let's see if we can chip away at this thing.
I'll tell you how it ends. No,
6 months goes real quick, and you're just
but
like,
it's worth a try on the roller coaster.
I just
that wasn't that. By the way, that wasn't a comment on him. That was just a comment on anyone trying to,
of course,
make it. And
I just love the notion though of like a thing that everybody else would brag about on the internet immediately. You just have this little secret, and you're
great.
like, "This is fucking awesome."
I bet he feels like a little slut, like just having like a $200,000 secret.
His friends are saying shit about him. He's like, "You don't even know. You don't even know how much
shut up
I've
in your
got."
$65K a year job, you bitch. He's like, you don't even know, dude.
I'll never forget two of my friends fighting, two meatheads, and one did better than the other one at work. And as like the other meatheads in my friend group are like forcing everybody apart, the one guy's going, "Show me your W-2s, show me your W-2s," and the rest of the room went, "Oh, damn." And they were probably one was making like 80,000 and
of
one
course.
was making 60,000. It's like, what are we doing
It's a
here?
life of difference.
All right, next up. Man, that's awesome though.
Hey guys, stuffed animals. Last night I was sleeping in my roommate's bed because I didn't want to sleep in my own room for literally no specific reason. Her bed was just seeming comfy, and she has like 2 stuffed animals in her bed, and I have a couple, but they're at home. Like I'm in college, so they're at my house with my parents, and she has 2 in her bed, and I'm going to bed. I'm like, how many stuffed animals do you have? And she's like, just 2. And I'm like, oh, do you have like more at home? Like, what's like your stuffed animal vibe? You know what I mean? Because everyone has like a really specific like stuffed animal thing. I feel like girls at least. And she's like, you don't have any? And I was like, no, I have like a bunch at home. And she's like, you don't have any here? She got up and walked to my room and like looked at my bed, and I was like, I could have just told you I didn't have any. Like, you didn't need to like go check. But what is like the vibe with stuffed animals? Okay, for example, like all my friends basically still have stuffed animals in their bed, and like we're 21, 22. Like if you're a guy at like whatever age, like when is it weird if you like go home with a girl to her house or something and there's like a bunny that you have to like move? You know, like you get home and there's like, oh, like a chipmunk that's like torn apart because you've had it since you were like 1 and you're like about to have sex and you have to like move it off the bed. Like, is that like weird? And does it make you think like, oh, this is like a child? Like, what is the vibe on that? And like,
Jackie, you have a stuffed animal?
I fuck with stuffed animals.
When was the last time you had a stuffed animal?
Like when I was a kid, but like my parents would throw them all out, so I was never really like a stuffed animal. Like
that's good parenting. That's good.
Yeah.
To answer this question, the answer is
that sounds a lot sadder when I said it.
Yeah, no, that'll happen. You'll go home with a girl with a stuffed animal.
Yeah,
and it'll always be not a great thing.
It's a little off-putting. Doesn't
Like,
stop me from anything.
I'll say this: I've had sex with a good amount of girls with stuffed animals. None of them were healthy people. None of them were well-adjusted adults.
No. It's a good barometer to find out if the dude you're about to bang is a creep.
Yeah,
Because if he's like, no, keep him on
it,
the bed.
Face them towards me.
But it's always like, do you mind if like did we get rid of this? I'm like, yeah, the fucking rotten fabric in the bed. Like I didn't even know that could happen to that texture. Like the stains on that thing. Like what the fuck? Yeah, we can get rid of that if you don't fucking mind.
Yeah, that's the one she used to just ride on her childhood bed.
I just can't. This is where I can't believe when like people my age will hook up with, you know, like college girls or girls fresh out of college, where it's like, these are the debates they're talking about. They're having their stuffed animal talks. Yeah, like how are you just like, yeah, I don't know, you're legal, man, let's do it. It's like there's more to this than just legality.
I remember feeling weird about that in college. There were a couple like Disney princess girls in the dorms, and like their whole walls would just be all Disney princess, and it's like, okay, like I guess I'm banging a 5-year-old. Like that's what the
Your hero's not John Belushi.
we got Cannon on a Diddy charge over here. New special out. I guess I'm banging a 5-year-old.
Trump Tarzan.
If you had someone who just had like just a regular looking teddy bear, and they were just like, this has just been in my life my whole life, like I just still have it. It just like sits on the bed. It's not like they don't bring it everywhere. They're not weird about it. They're just like, yeah, it's like a family heirloom.
Sure.
What do you think?
Well, I first of all, it never looks like that. It always looks like it's been
through the wire.
Yeah,
like
it came out of the Holocaust.
It swam across the Atlantic Ocean, like that Paddington himself swam across the Atlantic Ocean. It's always a goddamn nightmare. But I would like do what you want.
Yeah, like I'm
going to have my own thoughts about it.
Sure.
Yeah, like if everything else is perfect and you have a stuffed animal, I'd be like, all right.
Do women like a Michael Jordan poster on the wall? Do they say I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my life and that's why I succeed?
Or the one with the wingspan? Yeah, that's fun. You don't like that, do you? But
dude, I had that on my wall, and that was my father giving me a hug. Come back.
What were you gonna say, Jack? Wait, hang on.
I was just gonna say like I think about this, like I wish I was like cutesy enough where I had all these like stuffed animals and like had like, you've seen my like apartment for filming, like I don't have anything like I don't have any posters. Like I wish I had this cutesy like.
It does kind of look like the Reddit page like r/male living space, where it's just like, here's a couch and a TV. What's up?
Yeah,
It's like putting stuff
I got the
away.
necessities and nothing else.
That's why when you let those guys stay in your apartments all the time, they're happy to be there.
Yeah,
They're like, I just feel like I'm at home.
That makes me sound slutty. So
Well, Jackie has a move though of like, if she hooks up with someone and it's like doesn't like the guy, she'll leave her apartment.
Oh.
And be like, I gotta go. Like, let yourself out. And
That
just let
seems
him stay in
short-sighted.
the Seems like it could end in a very bad situation.
That's actually, I saw a tweet this morning. I think it's going around of a woman saying something like you know what? It was a guy. She was quote tweeting a guy, and the guy said like, it's so annoying when a girl sleeps over and you tell her in the morning like, yo, I got work. and she doesn't move fast. She's like, you're like, hey, we got stuff to do today. Get the fuck out of here. And the woman quote tweeted it and was like, I can't believe people treat women like this or whatever. And everyone's like, you can't just stay in someone's house who doesn't want you to be in their house.
You're squatting.
Squatting whores' rights.
Yeah. Get out. That episode of Pete Holmes' show, Crashing.
Yes. That was on the list. I
is-
brought that to the list.
It's a good one. Have you seen that show?
I saw that show.
When
Yeah, I'm not
he
sure which
stays-
episode.
It's like he has a one night stand for the first time after getting the divorce, and he stays in her house until she comes home from work.
Oof.
And he's like naked, in the
And
house.
he'd shatter her glass table.
He broke her table, and he like fucked everything up. And she comes home, and she's like, "You're still here," and it was like the most cringe-worthy thing I've ever seen. I assume it probably happened to Pete because I feel like a lot of that is like real life shit for him.
Yeah.
And he said something. It was something where he was like he was gonna leave, but then like he broke the table, and then he was like, "Well, now I got to stay. Like it's lunchtime, so I got to eat." Like it just kept going, and then all of a sudden it was nighttime, and he was like, "What have I done?" It was unbelievable, man. Get out of people's houses.
The thing I got overlooked in the beginning of this is like an even bigger difference in men and women isn't the stuffed animal situation. It's like if I told my college roommate that I slept in his bed because it just looked comfy.
Yeah, I just
He'd
want to
be like, "What
jump
the
in with
fuck
you."
is wrong with
Yeah.
you?"
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even
just
think
so
of that.
comfy.
It's like, dude, I was walking by your room and your bed just looks so comfy. So I decided to
So I just
sleep.
laid in it and sweat in it and farted in
Dude,
it.
and also,
8
but that would
hours.
smell like you're sleeping in your friend's arms.
Yeah.
Literally, like you're just being
There'd be
cuddled by
like
your
cum
buddy.
rags in the
Yeah,
corner
but
of
I
the
feel
room.
like girls will also just like sleep in bed together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's
it's like,
cool.
I'm having a bad night or I had a nightmare. Like, let's just.
But you
cuddle.
know, that's the benefit of not getting boned up.
Yeah.
Is dudes get boned up post sleep, and it's just. I mean, this is a terrible transition, but like I'll wake up with morning wood, and my 5-year-old will run into my room and like dive into my bed, dude, and he's hit my dick like a fire hydrant covered in snow. He had no idea, just boom, and just hits it forehead to pole, and just what is that, Dad? I'm like, that's my knee. He's like, that's smaller than a knee.
I thought up until this point, there's a 2 Bears 1 Cave clip where Bert says that they don't teach you everything that's going to happen in parenthood. Mm-hmm. And he goes like, they don't teach you that the first time your kid sits on your lap, your dick gets hard. And I think the whole internet collectively went, wait, what? Like, I don't remember that happened to me, Bert. And I remember thinking, that's something that probably should have been said on a podcast. And I think you just took the crown. My 5-year-old dove headfirst into my hard dick.
I mean,
That's like the
the
cigarette
point.
bit when he's talking about showering with his kid, and he's like, "Daddy, why is yours bigger than mine?" He's like, "'Cause mine's hard."
I'm jerking it off.
My son actually walked past our infant the other day and goes, "Brother's penis is bigger than mine." I was like, all right. I was like, I don't think so, but I'm not going to debate.
It's close.
Yeah.
The other day, Keegan was like getting in the shower and he was just, just fucking around like kids do. And he just grabbed the tip of his dick and went, "Look at this!" But it wasn't like it was like playing with a thing.
Yeah.
Not like,
Yeah.
He was just like,
Yeah.
and I was like, in 10 years, you're gonna do that a lot more, buddy.
My son pulled his thing similar and said he was like, it's like that rubber hand thing that we get from the quarter machines. And I was like, it's similar material. It really
You're not
is.
wrong.
Yeah.
You're not
I was like,
wrong.
good comp, dude.
Out of the mouths of babes, you know. All right, last one. For the love of God, last one.
What's up, guys? I feel like this is kind of like Jackie. I feel like she'll understand this. So my friends last week, they were drinking a bag of wine, slapping the bag, and I was like, hey, I wonder if anybody's ever hit it so hard that it just broke. And immediately that happened. And it made me thinking, because Damar Hamlin just got an interception last night, and literally before the commercial break before he died, I was researching and I literally said out loud, has anybody ever died in the NFL? I didn't know. And the next fucking play that happened. So like, do I have like some powers like Jackie does, or
I love that we just say died. This man is alive.
He died, though. He died.
It's Vampire Damar Hamlin. That's who we got now.
Yeah, I mean, he was a borderline roster guy, and now he's fucking a starting safety.
Yeah. That was
some-
the greatest
some
thing that
super-
ever happened to
Yeah,
that guy.
his clone has superior skills.
Whatever happened, whatever the government did, the deep state did. Remember that when they were saying they had like body doubles of Damar Hamlin?
Well, him in the suite, covered in doing the
whoever that guy is,
that
he's
guy's
better
in
than
a mask when everyone else on the planet's in a mask. He must be a fake person.
It was a little weird. It was a little weird.
Oh, of course.
The way he like
pro
shuffled
clone.
him around, it was a little bit strange.
No, it was. I
dude.
remember this debate where you were like, look at him on the camera, and it was like, it's a camera that he doesn't even know is there.
It was weird. It was weird, bro. The way he ran around like the back tunnels, like he just like shuffled into that back door.
It was just the bowels of a football stadium.
Yeah, but it was a little too back there.
But what was I say? Oh, we were talking yesterday about that. Like when he made that pick, the Jaguars like didn't know what to do.
Right.
It's like the manager of the kid shooting threes. You know what I mean? Got to let him play.
Yeah,
Yes,
like they were just running alongside him.
Yeah.
They're like, I touched him with 2 hands. He can't still be running. This isn't fair.
Dude, I would have tried to pinata that dude. I would have like put my head right to his sternum and see if I could explode his heart myself. Just why not? Free murder.
Ultimate villain move. I murdered
Free
Damar
murder.
Hamlin for the second time.
Hey, he's out there playing. Yeah. What do you want us to do?
Jackie thinks
this
she
makes
has
me feel
like
so much
telekinesis.
better
Right.
because the day before he died on whatever, I had decided I had openly said that I was a Bills fan.
Yeah.
And so then I thought it was me, but now
That's her.
it's her.
Dude, those when you get these moments when you're like you say the bag might break and the bag breaks, or someone died and the guy dies. It always feels like when you're a kid in the shower and you see the water running down your fingers and you're like, am I a superhero?
Right. Like, wow, I can aim this.
I'm Water Man.
I don't know what's happening, but I'm pretty sure I'm a superhero.
I love the idea of like slapping flimsy plastic holding a stainable liquid and it breaking, and you're like, what powers do I possess?
Her going, we were wondering if it ever broke. I'm like, I'm sure that's happened 50,000 times a night. Slapping a little limp bag. Yeah, it broke. No fucking kidding.
Dude, we did.
You have powers.
I had a shore house once in Newport, and it was just like me and my buddy, and our other friend was coming over, and we were like, "Yo, we had a bag of wine left over from last night. It was like a noon on a Saturday kind of deal.
Nice.
We're like, let's do Sunny canned wine, and we had our other buddy come, and we just kept being like, "Yo, man, you want a Coke?" Because we just kept filling up our Coke can with wine. And after like 7 hours, he was like, "You mind if I have a beer?" And we were like, "Dude, we're blackout drunk right now." Like, we were just keeping it a secret.
It's like, these guys are drinking so much soda. These guys have had like a 12-pack of soda each.
We were like literally blacked out.
You
drunk.
guys
We were
look like moms at a CYO award ceremony. Why is your mouth grape flavor?
He's like, "How have you guys not told me you've been drinking?" Like, we thought it was really obvious.
Oh, the good old days. Well, all right, that's it, right? Yeah. That's the last one. All right. So the special's out.
Yeah, Traumatized Animal on YouTube, Christie's YouTube. But yeah, search Mike Cannon Traumatized Animal. I'm really proud of it, so watch.
It's really, really great.
I appreciate it.
You're
Thank
always
you guys.
one of the funniest in the game, man.
Thank you very much.
And SkankFest, you'll be at SkankFest. And on the road and all that
Can't
shit.
get tickets.
Yeah, I'm all over the road. I'm in New York too, October 4th at City Winery. So come out to that for the love of God.
It's a fun spot.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like, if I'm classy enough for it. Like I'm bag of wine, slap it, see if it breaks. That's my motif. So I might bring some true animals into this fucking wine sipping venue.
Good shit, man. Thanks.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Click that button.
Or I'll cut off my finger.